RUNE II. This game had a very rough start. It has been re-released so many times already. As a matter of fact, I streamed its previous version several months ago, and yeah, sure, it was playable, without a doubt, but felt pretty dull and unfinished. Now it has been released once again as the Decapitation Edition. So of course you're wondering what has changed, what is new. Well, a lot actually. Now there are towns, NPCs, quests, skills, and the overall gameplay is way more rounded up and gives the feel of playing an actually decent and finished game. It starts pretty much the same. You have been resurrected from the dead and selected as a champion to bring down the evil trickster Loki. Heimdall will always be there to guide you with his sturdy voice.
Now, arm yourself with whatever weapon you might find in the vicinity.
Then there's the crafting minigame again, where you cut down trees and smash stones to build your little outposts, pretty much like in a survival sim game. There are several houses you can build this time, each with a different function.
Inside the structures you build, you might find the means to heal your wounds, cook food, store items, repair worn weapons and armor, or forge new equipment. Each building serves different needs.
Interacting with the glowing runestones you can find across the game now gives you crafting designs, and not just useless lore, how it used to be in the previous version. So once you learn the basics of crafting and build the seer hut, an NPC will appear and tell you about spending stat points and so on.
Warrior reborn, I am Halfdan, seer of Wotenkeld. Or what's left of it. Thank you for rebuilding this sacred domicile. I sense you are charged with points of Asgardian energy. A gift from Heimdall. Perhaps you should look within and see which of your attributes you wish to enhance with this energy.
The next thing you will probably notice is that now there is also a skill tree next to your stat points screen. So now it is actually possible to be way more creative and unique in combat. And speaking of combat, this is also where the game introduces you to fighting off hordes of enemies that occasionally try to storm your little base, and how you have to defend that statue thing, because if it's destroyed, your village falls. The reason for this is obviously the online function of this game. You can play it in PvP mode, and that obviously means that other players will try to sabotage you and destroy your villages. It is, however, also playable in co-op mode, which is really cool. The combat has also greatly improved actually. The hitboxes aren't all over the place how it used to be, and the animations look more smooth. Now there are also different heavy attacks, unique for each weapon. Those attacks cannot be blocked and seem fairly overpowered, but beware, enemies can use those too, of course. Other than that, it's basically the same. Block or dodge roll away and counterattack. And yes, looking at this you probably understand why it's called the Decapitation Edition. You can even sometimes pick up severed body parts and break them down to make bones for crafting. Now that's pretty brutal. And next you have to run around the island and activate some binding stones so you can find this sealed away guy, who is pretty much the first boss fight in this game. Also, I have to say, he is pretty easy.
Behold, Harime the Betrayer! You are my hand! Strike him down!
That pretty much concludes the tutorial. The only thing left is crafting a raft, and you can make your way to the mainland, where the actual game begins.
Set sail for the place I have marked on your map.
Yeah, let's try not to laugh at the weird bouncing animation. The game is trying its best. I also have to say the graphics really seem slightly improved compared to the previous release. On the main map, the things continue in a similar fashion. You interact with NPCs, fight off Loki's mad thralls and other monsters, and help rebuild the villages. Also, they are way bigger now and resemble actual small towns. The game will also tell you about those Bifrost gates, basically just teleporters to get around the island faster. This is also where you will probably want to invest some points into your ability tree, because by now you should have several. Yeah, Sonic Blast! Looks more like Sonic Burp. But whatever it is, it's okay. As I already said, this game is fairly decent and enjoyable in its current state. Might not be Game of the Year, and there is still certainly room for improvement, but it is quite okay in my book. So you might very well give it a go if you are into Nordic mythology themed games. And thanks for watching.